Back to Women of Hope. I'm Evangelist Sonia Baker. Now it's time for some Bible studies. Since I was able to share with you previously a little bit about myself, Women of Hope, and what we're all about, I hope that you feel a little bit more comfortable with me. So I don't have much time, and I value your time as well. So how about we go ahead and move into the scriptures that we're going to talk about today. Let's go to Leviticus 11 verses. Let's start at verse 47. How about that? At our church, at Powerhouse Christian Fellowship in Aurora, we always say, once you start looking for the scriptures, if you got it, say, I got it. If you don't, say, wait on me. I heard a wait on me. All right, I got you. I'm going to wait for you. So Leviticus, that is chapter 11, starting at verse number 47. Got it? All right, here we go. So this is what it says. It says, for I am the Lord your God. Consecrate yourselves, therefore, and be holy, for I am holy. And you shall not make yourselves unclean with any of the swarming things that swarm on the earth. For I am the Lord who brought you up from the land of Egypt to be your God. Thus you shall be holy, for I am holy. This is the law regarding the animal and the bird and every living thing that moves in the waters and everything that swarms on the earth. Get this, verse 47. This is important, okay? It says to make a distinction between the unclean and the clean, and between the edible creature and the creature which is not to be eaten. Okay, stay right there. Let's go over to Leviticus 20, and we're going to start at verse 22. Now we're moving over Leviticus 20, starting at verse 22 through verse 26. Okay, I'm about to read. Here we go. You are therefore to keep all my statutes and all my ordinances and do them, so that the land to which I am bringing you to live will not spew you out. Moreover, you shall not follow the customs of the nations which I would drive out before you. For they did all these things, and therefore I have abhorred them. Hence I have said to you, you are to possess their land, and I myself will give it to you to possess it. A land flowing with milk and honey. I know many of you have heard that scripture. I am the Lord your God who has separated you from the peoples. You are therefore, here we go again, to make a distinction between the clean animals and the unclean, and between the unclean bird and the clean. And you shall not make yourselves detestable by animal or by bird or by anything that creeps on the ground, which I have separated for you as unclean. Thus you are to be holy to me, for the Lord I am holy, and I have set you apart from the peoples to be mine. Amen. So we're talking about being holy today. And I know that holiness is not popular nowadays, and we don't hear a lot about it. But how many of y'all know that holiness is right? Let's define holy. The word holy means to be sacred. It means to be dedicated and consecrated to God. Okay, so we're talking about, so God is telling the children of Israel, now I'm about to take you into a land. It's going to be good for you. It's flowing with milk and honey. It's nourishing for you. He said, but let me tell you, once you get there, I need for you to separate yourselves from these people. How many of you know that sometimes we got to separate ourselves from individuals that are not good for us? And God was trying to warn those people. Don't associate with them. Don't start living with them. Don't start hanging with them. You know, you got to separate yourself. There's got to be a distinction between you and them. That's what God was telling them. And I want to remind you and give you hope on today, and to know, don't worry about people calling you holy roller. Don't forget, don't worry about people telling you, oh, I remember when we used to club together. I remember when we used to do all this together. And now you going to church and act like you too good for us and all that. Distinguish yourself, baby. Don't even worry about it, because God has called us to a place of holiness. We have to be holy. We have to be sacred. We have to be dedicated to God. But I got a question for you. Can you tell me, what is the distinction between you and your neighbor? What distinguishes you? Is there anything about you that says, I'm different? That's not my lifestyle. That's not what I do anymore. Can you identify a quality in you or characteristic about you that shows that you are distinctive and that you belong to God? What about your coworker? Yeah. And what about your friends? What about your family members? Or you know, I got a couple family members that when I go visit them sometime I gotta move on out. I know when the jokes are coming. I know when the beer cans are about to click open. I know when it's about to crack off and it's time for me to leave. Sometimes they'd be like, girl, come on, let me tell you this joke. Or come on, hang around a little bit. Baby, I'll see you tomorrow. We're going to still have a good old time. But be encouraged on today. Don't worry about the rest of that. Distinguish yourself and be holy. I love you. I'll see you next time. God bless.
That will bring new life. Words on the wings of the morning, the dark night will fade away.